Alive! Welcome to the Crafty Boys, where we drink beer and talk about bullshit. It's just how we like to roll, and we hope you have beer too. So there you go. We have a guest on the show tonight. His name is Ben.
Hello.
Hey,
How are
Ben.
you?
He's been in the chat many times,
I have. Now I'm on the show.
and now he's here because we happen to be hanging out beforehand. And why not? Just cause he's cool. Hello, Alan. How are you?
Hello. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Locke will be joining us at some point in the next little while. He is running a bit late this evening, but that is okay because the beer that Alan and I have is a beer that we chose in August, I think. It is called Sublime, and it is a light lime cerveza by Longwood Brewing,
Which I believe is in Nanaimo.
Yeah, I passed it on the highway, I think.
A refreshing light lager combining zesty lime and a sprinkle of Vancouver Island sea salt. With each sip, experience a delightful burst of citrus, complemented by the smooth, clean finish typical of classic Mexican lagers, a perfect balance of tastiness and not taint.
Here, should I look it up on the website?
Testiness and testiness.
Testiness?
Anyway, there's something else there. I've forgotten.
Testes?
I meant apparently. So there you go.
So basically, this is a higher class Bud Lime Light that probably tastes a hell of a lot better. That would be my
Probably.
First. I probably biased myself already, Alan, into thinking it's going to be something.
And anyway. It's local, right? So you're
well then.
Yeah, your money's going to the local economy. Well, Nanaimo anyway.
Well, I mean, that's pretty local for me. Or that's pretty local for us. I live in Vancouver, so thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Cheers.
And cheers.
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 Cheers. Think, think.
I
like that.
It's very good.
Wow, as soon as it hit my nose. Oh, wow.
Definitely a summer beer for sure.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Well, we did pick it up in August, so it has been.
It's clean. It's refreshing.
It does say it's refreshing on the thing, doesn't it?
What's the alcohol content on it?
It's only 4.2.
I actually have another thought though. This beer, when we were talking about Parallel 49 Advent calendars before the show started, and Herminator Icebox from Vancouver Island Brewing, this beer could actually work at Christmas.
That is true.
As a beer that is cleansing of the palate. Maybe you've had a few already. Maybe you've had a Herminator. Maybe you've had what was the beer I tried last year? It was a Grand Cru.
Mr. Needles.
Maybe. Anyway, nice palate cleanser, or for a guest who doesn't drink.
I did actually just notice yesterday that Red Truck has its spruce tip beer out now.
I did see that.
I don't know if it's just leftover from last year, but it's.
Let me just say, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with a good spruce tip beer.
No, nothing at all.
But there's some.
Mr. Needles is not that.
Way too far. Right?
Mr. Needles is like they took the entire tree tips and everything and just ground it up and said, "Here you go."
Where's Mr. Needles from? Is that a Parallel?
Needles is Parallel 49. Yep.
I've never had it.
To give anyone context of what the hell we're talking about, Mr. Needles, or not Mr. Needles, Parallel 49 has actually just announced a couple weeks ago that they're actually doing an advent calendar. The advent calendars seem around here anyway from the local breweries were quite the thing for quite some time, but then they kind of died off. I think that partly because of COVID. But I think ultimately, I guess maybe they didn't sell as much. I remember there's a liquor store on Canby at 40, right at Oak Ridge Mall.
I bought you a couple of years ago this Philips space case.
Space case, yep, that's right.
Did I not buy that?
Yeah,
as a Christmas gift? And I want to say that was the tail end of the pandemic, so like 2022. I want to say
something like that. Yeah,
stuff out of that, I thought.
Because it's been like the last 3 years where it was getting hard to find the advent calendars.
That's right.
Some of the breweries, Parallel 49 didn't do one. I don't think. Were they the first one to stop? I can't remember.
I always look for the Dukes of Hazzard from.
Yeah, that always shows up. To be honest,
which the white, it's the really strong
crooked and crookeder tooth seem to show up
IPA.
regularly. But I think the big thing is that I think last year Alan and I kind of basically gave up because it was so hard the previous year, and then last year, even thinking about trying to find one became an issue. So I'm a little surprised that they are. It's what are they calling it? It's the most wonderful time for a beer, I think, is their case. And I'm excited about it, to be honest. I mean, we haven't done one for a while, so I don't know if we'll do it, but maybe it's worth giving it a try.
To be clear, they did do one last year.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but it was. I remember they announced it kind of late, and we decided not to do it for a multitude of reasons.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's probably why I have it in my mind that we didn't, or they didn't do it. But maybe it's because we didn't, because they were late to the game.
I think we just didn't have the ability to be able to do it and record.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
That's always important.
It is very important. But overall, I think that we had I think this. I don't know. I'm trying to think if we should try to do it this year, because we did.
We could talk about it.
Well, we'll decide. We have time. It's only the beginning of November.
It's not even out yet.
We got 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. When is it supposed to actually hit the shelves?
Soon, it says.
Oh, so 2 weeks ago, and soon.
And how would you have gotten it had the liquor store strike continued, which has now ended?
Yeah,
you just got to go to Parallel 49.
Oh, wait a second.
Not for you.
Okay, actually, that's important information. The strike is over?
I believe it is.
Well,
I believe it is.
I have not been.
It's over for now. They have a tentative deal in place. Okay. It has to be ratified, and they hope to have it ratified by the middle of November.
Okay.
So, and I think it will get ratified, but
I think so.
So the liquor stores have gone back to work.
Oh yeah.
I live close to one and work close to one, and I'm like, wow, it's so weird. They're quiet. They're dark.
Well, it was fascinating because there was a trickle down effect where a lot of the private liquor stores didn't have certain things. I remember going to the liquor store with my sister looking for Stormcrow
Tavern, man. We haven't talked about that.
Strongbow?
No, what's it called?
Strongbow.
Thank you. And Strongbow was not available anywhere. It just had run out because I guess all of the private liquor stores get it through the BC liquor store. So
yeah, the only thing that they wouldn't have to get is any like BC craft beer or anything that's made in BC.
Okay,
right.
Because then those places can sell directly to the private liquor stores.
Who makes Strongbow? I've actually never thought of that.
Strongbow is probably American.
I thought it's a big chain, big brewery.
I have no idea. I'm gonna look this up.
Somebody big.
Strongbox.
You can come with your own cider.
Strongbow cider is produced in the United Kingdom since 1960 by H.P. Bulmer.
It's a pretty well-known cider, but there are also a lot of great cideries in British Columbia, and I've been to.
Oh, absolutely! Here on the island, in fact.
Really,
I've been to some of them on the island too. Yes,
like Maridale.
Yeah,
Maridale.
There. My parents live in the Sunshine Coast, so Sunday cider, Banditry cider.
There's also Salt Spring, which I know my family likes.
My wife is into one called No Boats on Sunday. I don't know where it's
from. Yeah, I've heard of this one. Was it at the beer event in the summer? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I can't remember. I'm very curious, actually. If there was a
what a weird name for a cidery. No Boats on Sunday.
Oh, I'm sure there's
must be some significance.
While I'm here, I'm gonna look it up. No Boats on Sunday cider. No Boats, a brand of Canadian cider made from 100% fresh pressed apples. I would love a cidery to just have text in there that just says, our brand of Canadian cider is made from 100% ground up children, or something to that effect. And just leave it there, and see until how long it takes for somebody to actually notice. The name is a nod to a time when Sunday boat traffic was restricted to allow for family time. It is known for being a balanced, not too sweet, not too dry cider, and comes in various flavors like original, peach, pear, and wild strawberry.
Oh, okay.
I love the taste of an original.
You can buy it at Save on Foods.
Grand Repeller Limited.
I beg your pardon. What?
Yeah, you can buy it at Save on Foods. That's true.
Is it? Does it have
I've seen it there. You can buy.
You can actually buy alcoholic beverages at Save on Foods.
Yeah, that's where I bought the Cooper's kits. We're making Cooper's kits. You buy them there.
I didn't know you could buy actual
some. They have
booze.
wine.
I thought
they have a section in Save on Foods.
They changed the laws in BC a number of years ago. Grocery stores can sell alcohol products provided there isn't a liquor store within so many kilometers.
And there isn't.
bizarre.
The one at Pemberton Plaza, Marine Drive in Northtown, there is no liquor store.
There you go.
Yeah. I had no idea. Not one. So, all right then. So we've solved how many problems today?
Quite a few.
We should drink beer.
Yeah.
Okay, then we solved that problem. The beer we should drink should also be beer that rhymes with beer. Cider's an okay substitute once in a while. What other problems have we solved today, Alan?
We figured out, well, we figured out that the
Saskatchewan Roughriders won today.
Yeah, thanks.
Against the BC Lions. I'm pretty happy about that myself.
So, can we talk about? I don't know if you guys were watching it, but we didn't record last week because Game 7 of the World Series was on, and like most, I think it was like a third of Canadians, I was glued to my TV.
I was glued to the game prior. I did not feel much of a draw for Game 7 because I had too many people telling me how the Blue Jays were going to lose. And I just kind of felt a little like, the whole, jumping on the bandwagon thing. And then this is actually, no, I did actually turn on a little bit of the game at some point. But it was highlights from the first few innings. And it didn't look great.
Wow. It was tied 4-4 and it went into extra innings.
So
the Blue Jays had the lead for a great deal of that game, thanks to Bo Bichette.
Boba Fett?
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
That's a good nickname for him. Well, if you don't have Yamamoto, who won 2 games,
I know,
right? And you got the MLB's highest payroll, but Yamamoto was the difference, really.
He's the guy making like $7 bazillion over 5 years.
No, that's Shohei Ohtani.
That's Shohei Ohtani.
Who are the people making all this money? I should learn to play baseball better.
Yes,
spend the money. But he was the difference. Every other game I thought I thought the whole series was close.
It was an amazing series.
True, because I did watch a couple of the games. I don't remember which ones though, like the third or fourth game, I think. I don't know. I lost interest after a little while just because it just, I don't know. I just whatever. Although, I don't think there's any shame in them losing at all. They powered through really, really hard as far.
It sucks that they lost. It really, really does. But they played very, very well, and they were underdogs coming in, although I don't think they should have been, but they were seen as underdogs.
Why are they seen as underdogs? I've actually heard that, but I don't actually understand why.
Basically, they're really well-known players. They only had like maybe 2 or 3, whereas the Dodgers, from top to bottom, is all really well-known players. the Blue Jays have a lot of guys who are, only been in the league maybe 1 or 2 years. So they kind of thought that they were a little bit outmatched. But I think it was just that they weren't familiar with the Blue Jays players. And once they actually saw them,
The Dodgers started out by signing Mookie Betts. Then they won the goofy 2020 World Series, which was a pandemic year. Then they signed
What
Freeman.
did you call it?
The goofy World Series in the 2020 pandemic year.
Right.
Because it was weird. So the Dodgers signed Betts first off, then Freeman, then Ohtani. So their top of the order is Freeman, Betts, Ohtani, or some mix. They got Teoscar Hernandez, who used to play for Toronto. They have Max Muncy, who's good in his own right. They have Will Smith, who's good in his own right.
Then it kind of tails off a bit with like Andy Pajes and.
I mean,
you guys are far more. I mean, by the way, Ben runs a sports podcast that talks about all kinds of things sports.
Oh, cool.
But what is the name of your podcast?
The Golden V Podcast, goldenvpodcast.ca.
Rock and roll.
Facebook.com/Golden V Podcast.
He probably has more subscribers than we do here.
Probably.
But
that's not hard to do.
Fill me in. Now, remember there was that time many years ago when I think it was, who was the basketball player that decided to play baseball as well?
Michael Jordan.
So Michael Jordan.
Didn't get very far.
What year was that? And did he play a full season or what?
He only got to like AA, though. He didn't get very far.
Oh, so he didn't actually make major leagues or anything of that nature?
No, he didn't.
No.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
And why did he do that? Was that sort of a publicity thing or?
Not to on camera. No. Okay.
I think he had done basketball. He had retired, and he always wanted to play baseball, and he wanted to give it a try.
But the big two-sport guy was Bo Jackson, who played football for the Raiders, baseball for the Kansas City Royals, and Deion Sanders, who played baseball for the Yankees and the Braves, and played football in the NFL as well. For the Atlanta.
And then who was the guy that, what was his name? He played football, and then he retired from football, and he tried to make it into the Met system.
Oh, right. I can't remember.
His name isn't coming to me, but
I can't remember, to be honest.
But he never made it to the big leagues either. I mean, when I think of guys who played 2 professional sports, I think of Bo Jackson and Deion.
Well, he did both well, right?
Yeah.
And so did Sanders. Deion Sanders was good too at both. Yeah.
Right. Well, overall, I congratulate them for trying. I mean,
well, they didn't just.
I didn't actually realize what year did what's his face retire?
Jordan. He retired and then came back.
Oh, he retired, tried baseball, went home, and went back to basketball?
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh, bizarre.
Because then he played for the Wizards too.
Who were the
Well,
Wizards?
and that was when he was part owner of the Wizards.
That's right.
Where were the Wizards?
They're in Washington. They're still around.
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
Helsinki, Sweden. Eat it, Harvey.
Helsinki, as in Helsinki, Sweden. Well, it's almost time for that too, because Christmas is coming up, and we got to get our social media thing out.
Is it just me being like a Scrooge because it was early October? I was at a what's that thing? Shoppers Drug Mart, and I was walking through the store, and there was all of the Halloween stuff. But then you would go around the other side of this aisle, and it was all Christmas stuff. And then he went around the other aisle, and it was Valentine's Day stuff.
Oh, grief! And
I'm like, is there like a disconnect that or am I just not understanding?
I would say the Valentine's stuff is out of line. The Christmas stuff, no. I think we have this perception as we get older that they start these things earlier. but in actual fact, they don't. Every year, the
Get off
Sears
my
Wish.
lawn.
Remember the Sears Wish book? It used to come out on
Yep.
after Labor Day.
I do remember the Sears Wish book. That was my favorite thing to go through and go, I want that and that and that and that and that.
Mhm.
And then I got none of it. I was an abused child. Denied toys that were totally useless.
Okay, but my thing was an Atari 2600. I was denied.
I don't think I was denied too much in terms of toys.
I think my mom was
not
afraid that
collect-
an Atari 2600 was going to rise up while we were all sleeping and try and murder us all.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think, I think there's this weird practicality side of, because I know a lot of people that are hardcore collectors. Like Alan, you collected Star Wars figures for quite some time.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you still have them in your storage locker.
I still have them. I should probably get
in
rid
Tahiti.
of them.
Sorry?
I should probably get rid of them, but yes, I still have them.
No, why would you? Hold on to them as long as you can. But I was never really a collector like that. I just didn't seem to get the bug. Julian, friend of the show, is always telling me that I need to invest in precious metal. And every once in a while, I'll go and I'll look at some pieces of jewelry that are fine silver and this sort of thing. But I don't get that bug that he does, where he just is, I need to have this and that and this and that. And I realized not too long ago that the reason I've somehow suppressed this desire is because I know that I'm a completionist. That if I decided to collect something, I would have to have them all. Otherwise, I would not feel whole or something. Do you feel that way at any time for any collecting of stuff?
Yes. So my thing now that Shane is aware of is I'm collecting Atari 2600 cartridges.
Yeah.
You got an Atari shirt on? I think you do, don't you?
There's huh?
Do you have an Atari shirt on?
I do.
I've seen that shirt for sale, and I saw your shirt. And I thought that's like an Atari shirt. Nice.
And while there's some very common ones that are very cheap, there are some less common ones that are harder to find that are not cheap, and some super rare ones that are definitely not cheap. But it doesn't matter because you're not going to find them anyway. So
right.
Well,
yeah. What is the most? What is the rarest cartridge that?
Well, okay, so I haven't actually paid that much attention to it because there's no chance that I'm ever going to find any of these things. But there is one where a company put out like 200 copies before they went out of business, and one of those is worth like $10,000 or something.
Oh. Let's see. The rarest Atari cartridges include Air Raid and Gamma Attack. Both with extremely low known copies or promotional or unreleased titles like Red Sea Crossing and Pepsi Invaders. What?
Oh yeah, that was available through a Pepsi promotional thing.
One apparently sold for $10,000.
Yeah,
Atari 2600.
That is just bizarre.
I don't know if I had one.
Did you ever have an Atari 2600?
I don't think I did.
I never did.
An Apple. Then PC.
I had friends. My friend David had one. That was a big deal because he played it a lot. I think he still has his, to be honest. But I don't think I remember borrowing from a friend. He got the NES system, and prior to that, he had a Coleco, and he gave me the ColecoVision.
Oh, nice.
And I plugged that into my TV in my bedroom and played it once in a while. I'm not really a platformer game, games that are platformers. There's tons of them out there. There's many contemporary ones that are very popular. I don't know. I'm not really that. Never really interested me. So I think that's why I lost interest in like Atari stuff. But I do enjoy things like, I don't know, is Tempest an Atari game at all, or they make an Atari port? But like games like Tempest, I like.
There was one actually, but it never got released. But you can download the ROM.
So I've had that, and then I went into word processing with my TRS-80, and then probably 5 or 6 years after that, I got a Tandy machine of some sort, which is the one that I ran the BBS on and all that kind of stuff. I didn't actually play too many games on that computer. I don't recall actually doing too much.
Stop with Camel.
We played Stop with Camel. I remember what machine did we play the show on? Or whatever whatever the video game was, the baseball one that we could actually dial into each other or whatever the hell it was.
Oh, that was on the PS3.
Oh, was that the PS3? I've forgotten what that game was. I can't remember anymore. I still have my PS3 somewhere.
I do too.
It the Blu-ray drive on it died in like 2014 or something.
That sucks.
But so for Atari cartridges, what is the most rare that you have?
The most rare that I have, I'm probably gonna go with Pitfall 2. It's not really all that rare. You can find it, but it's not something that you're gonna see every day.
Okay.
But it is out there. There is another one that's a little bit more rare that somebody in Saskatchewan is selling on eBay. And it's worth $100 and they're selling it for $45, but they're charging $45 for shipping.
No, of course.
So I'm like, no, I'm not.
What's it called?
It's called Beam Rider.
Beam Rider.
Yeah.
Beam Rider. Atari. Beam Rider. I only want Canadian listings. Thank you. Canada only.
Unless somebody's already bought it.
I don't know. Atari 2600 VCS tested and working. $45. The king of games.
Yes, that's it.
There's also one called Alpha Beam with Ernie.
No. What? Beam Rider's worth about $100 Canadian. So I mean, even with the shipping, it would still be about what it's worth. But I just don't have it in me to spend that kind of money on a 40-year-old game.
So how many games do you have for the Atari 2600?
I think I've got about 35.
Do you actually still play it?
Yeah.
How do you play it?
I actually don't have an original Atari 2600. I have something new that's come out called the Atari 2600 Plus.
Okay.
So it's made by a company in the UK called PlayOn. It looks exactly the same as an Atari 2600. It takes the cartridges, it has the switches on it, uses the same joystick with the DB9 port, and you just put the cartridge in and it works. But it's essentially an emulator. It dumps the ROM from the cartridge into the memory, and then it plays it by emulation.
Oh, wow. I was going to say that are these cartridges? Do they have batteries in them? Some of them,
No.
or no?
No.
These ones don't. I remember looking at some cartridge repair website, and some of them have. I'm not saying the Atari ones do, but there were some cartridges that actually had batteries in them that were soldered in.
The NES did.
Oh yeah, okay. It's probably
any system where it could save high scores on the cartridges,
right?
They would have to have a battery in.
Showing up.
Locke has arrived.
Hey, Locke.
Hello.
Welcome, sir. The beer that we've had this evening is a Longwood Brewing Sublime. It's a light lime cerveza, and rocking it at 4.2% alcohol by volume. And there's a long story on the side of the can. I'm not going to read it again.
It's very good.
Okay. Lime cerveza. Well, on a similar theme, I am once again doing spirits tonight. Now, you were asking a week or so ago, Alan, what makes a craft spirit? And I think one of the things on further reflection that you have to note about spirits is that a lot of the craftiness comes in the way they are mixed together. And so that's part of the culture of spirits in terms of, you know, where the element of craft enters into it. Now, here's a technical term for you. You understand the difference between a highball and a cocktail?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The difference being?
Well, a highball is just like alcohol with like juice or something, like some sort of a mix.
Mm-hmm.
And a cocktail is sort of like, you know, like several things mixed together and usually shaken.
3 or more ingredients. You got the important thing there. It's sort of like contract theory. If there's 3 or more ingredients, then it might be a contract or a cocktail. So let's start with a little tequila and see where we start. And this is tequila blanco. So this is 1800 tequila.
Is that what you had last time?
Before I had the gold tequila. This is the white tequila. And so we're gonna put a little bit of that in there. And then I'm thinking, because I'm feeling that I want to play around with some Fever Tree products, let's go with their ginger beer.
Very nice.
Interesting.
Ginger beer with their tequila.
Yes, ginger beer and tequila. So I'm headed in a kind of a tropical, festive, going on vacation sort of direction because I'm doing nothing of the sort at all this winter season.
Oh, somebody's watching too. That's great, and it's not me.
Wait a minute. That's why we're down. Viewership is down because Ben is here. Oh yeah, sorry, Locke. Ben is here.
Yeah, I noticed that. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Locke. How are you?
Not too bad. How's that base treating you? You still got it, or did that move on
I
again?
got your base. I'm still using it, man. I'm trying
Nice, right on.
to rework, have the nut redone, and oh yeah.
Nice.
So right now we are at a highball stage, whereas we've got 2 ingredients. What I'm going to add to that is, now these are Angostura orange bitters, not Angostura bitters. But the company that makes famously the original Angostura bitters also has an orange variety. So we're going to use that this evening. In general, it's a little less pungent, not quite as clovey.
Interesting.
So yeah, we're gonna add a bit of this. Also not as colorful. Angostura bitters are sort of a reddy kind of a color. So an Angostura, in case you're not aware, is a type of citrus fruit. Apparently not that tasty to eat, and so not very marketable until somebody had the bright idea that, you know, we could make bitters out of these. So there we are. And then I'm going to put in a dash of lime juice because I feel like that big acid on the end just takes the whole thing to another level.
That would be interesting.
Shaken, not stirred, mostly because I don't have a stir stick.
You didn't shake it though, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you didn't.
He swirled it.
No. I have a shaker. I don't have it with me. I will provide that next time I do one of these.
Nice.
But what I have here is a little bit like what they call a dark and stormy. Only a dark and stormy normally has rum, but yeah, this is tasty and creative and fun. Another thing that people like to do, which I again just do not have the wherewithal this evening, is take orange rind, hold it under a lighter, and then rub that around the rim of the glass. That is a thing that actually can have some sort of aromatic qualities. Interestingly, so anyway, yeah, there's my show and tell for this evening. So what are you guys chatting about?
We were talking about video game consoles from basically the 70s and 80s. And did you ever have one? Because we were discussing Alan's collection of Atari 2600 cartridges. And did you ever collect anything like that?
Collect, not exactly. To the degree that I had So I mean, we've talked about the TRS-80, but to the degree that I had any game specific type of devices, there was an early Sega. I don't think it was a Sega Genesis even. It was just a Sega. And yeah, I think the title that probably most compelled me when I was playing that one was Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy was a lot of fun. The arcade version was way more involved than what was originally released. But yeah, it was sort of an adventure game, and I found the whole thing like mesmerizingly evocative of other worlds. Like I really felt like when I went into the volcano realm, I was kind of experiencing something kind of neat. And then, when you change from that into the cloud realm, it's really different. It's all cloudy. Right. Is it basically the same thing as Mario Brothers? Yeah, basically the same thing as Mario Brothers. What else? Right. So the other one that I played growing up was the Intellivision.
Yes.
And I think, wasn't there another company called ColecoVision that?
Yes, ColecoVision. Yeah.
Now, I don't understand quite what the relationship between those two companies was.
There was no relationship. They were direct.
No relation, just very similar names.
I think they're
okay, but when it came time to purchase video game titles, I do remember buying B-17 Bomber.
B-17 Bomber. Yep.
Yeah, and in order to get it to work, you needed I think an additional hardware element or something.
You needed the voice modulator.
Yeah, the voice modulator, and the one that we got was a ColecoVision product that worked with the Intellivision system that we had. So that's why I was curious.
Honestly, that doesn't surprise me because a number of years ago, I was nerding out with somebody about different things, and I brought up the ColecoVision. And then we delved into what the ColecoVision really was. And essentially, it was a repurposed collection of pieces from different computer systems. Remember ColecoVision had that weird controller that had like the joystick with the two buttons on the side and then a keypad? Yeah. Apparently, that was repurposed from some kind of industrial machinery. That it was actually used for other stuff, but the company... I'm not sure exactly why they chose it. They probably had them, and they repurposed it for the video game system because ColecoVision was fairly early to the game. Like it was prior to Nintendo. It was sort of, I want to say early 80s, like 81, 82.
The ColecoVision was technically a better system than the Atari, like far better than the Atari. Yeah. But the Atari just had, for whatever reason, just was more popular and sold way more units.
It was VHS to their beta.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just what I was going to say.
Where were Coleco out of? Where were they? Do we know where their head office was located?
I will look
somewhere in the States, I would imagine.
Yeah, sure. Do we know if it was East or West? Are we talking like Texas Instruments, that kind of scene, or are we talking more out in the California Silicon Valley?
I don't know. I know Atari was in California.
It looks like
development
video game market. Coleco entered the video game market in 1976. They also developed a line of miniaturized tabletop arcade. Wow. Yes, I guess they were an arcade maker. I think that's where this sort of started. And the ColecoVision was dropped in August of '82.
Donkey
Kong, yeah. Ladybug and Mr. Do. Expansion modules, all this kind of stuff.
But where were they headquartered?
I'm trying to figure that out. Famicom, really? Am I just missing it here of where they're from?
No.
Huh.
I'll say.
Might be Japan.
I would suspect it's Japan. It must be. But essentially, yeah. So like the NES came out. Now I think what the ColecoVision, what you're saying about it being better is that I think it actually had a similar processor to arcade cabinets. So it had the because you're like if you look at the at any of those video game systems early on, the ports to those platforms were never really awesome, but if it had the right processor that it could actually play the fidelity of the games that you would see at the arcade at home. I mean, I'm sure there's other things that played into that, but one of the NES.
There was definitely some politics involved in it too.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. So Coleco had the rights to Donkey Kong. So there's some speculation that they may have put more time and attention into the ColecoVision port of Donkey Kong than they did for other platforms because they wanted people to buy ColecoVisions.
Right. That is true.
While we're on the topic, for anybody that was into Intellivision back in the day, there's a new product that's coming out very soon called the Intellivision Sprint.
Oh,
really?
Yes. It looks exactly the same as an original Intellivision. It's got 45 games pre-installed in it. The controllers are exactly the same. It has the little slide-in inserts. Comes packaged.
Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot. I didn't actually have one, but I had.
No, I didn't either. I did play one. I knew people who had them, and I did play them. I didn't like it compared to the ColecoVision and the Atari 2600. But for anybody that was a fan, it's coming out very soon. Like it may already be out. I don't know.
It ships.
Well, there were certainly some titles for that I remember quite liking. Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah. Intellivision Sprint. I don't know how much it is.
I'd be curious to know which games come pre-installed.
Can you bring it up on the screen there?
I must say, I am doing.
Not that they're a sponsor or anything.
It must say what games come with it.
Yeah, it does.
213.88 CAD.
One moment, please. All right, so here is the Intellivision Sprint. 45 built-in games.
Here's what may seem like a weird question, but what the hell would it be like playing one of these things on something other than like an NTSC like tube screen?
So I have the Atari 2600
that's a good
Plus,
point.
which is
It's an
made
old
by the
TV,
same
right?
company.
Like you got like a 4K Ultra HD TV that like I have that does the gets 4K sports channel.
I have the 2600 Plus,
Yeah.
which connects by HDMI to modern TVs, and it has a switch on it that allows me to turn into 4:3 mode.
There's the old
So that I can actually view things on my TV like I would have if I had an old CRT TV.
So we've got, let's see it here because the Atari 2600, and then I can go back. Like 45, or how many did you say? 40 or 45 games? That's a lot, right?
That one comes pre-installed. I think it was like 40 to 45, something like that.
Ooh, there's a Pac-Man one.
Yeah.
There's a Pac-Man edition console for $242, and there's a Dig Dug. What's the Dig Dug? Let's see.
So interesting to note, you're on the Atari.com website, which you actually can't. Although it lists the Canadian prices, you can't order these things from Canada.
Interesting.
You can only order them through Amazon.ca.
Wow.
And the prices are cheaper there.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to shut this down. We can share the ColecoVision too. Well, Shane just had ColecoVision up on
Yeah, there is no
on Wikipedia here too.
there's no redone ColecoVision coming out as far as I know of. Atari recently bought the entire library of Intellivision so that they
that
could
makes sense.
re-release it.
There you go.
Okay.
Let's keep moving here.
Mostly, I think I'm wondering about a game called Utopia.
Was that
It
on
was like-
Intellivision?
It was like it was an Intellivision game that was like an early Sim City type of a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It might be on there. I couldn't read the games list myself on the screen. The print was too small, but because I'm getting old.
Yeah, well, that's what happens as you age.
Yeah. So what's new
How's otherwise, Alan? Sorry?
What's going on? What's new?
The things that are going on in my life are my work life right now is sufficiently stupid that all I will say about that is that good Lord, it's bad enough when people have messy divorces that just affect the married couple. When those situations branch out and affect like more than 5 other people, you start to wonder, okay, what does this need to be like this? Anyway, it's all a bit silly. I'm coming around to the idea that I think I may be contemplating heading in a legal academic direction.
Wow.
My love of history is such that it's sort of effortless putting time into it. I like public speaking. I like traveling.
Right.
I could lecture about legal history internationally. That would be a good fit. So I'm starting to now. This is just me brainstorming. Am I going to do that? I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. But it's these sort of ideas that I'm starting to tease out. It's sort of like, if I had free time, what would I be doing? What would that look like? And then when I start to ask myself that question, if I had free time, what would I do with it? And then ask myself, are there any things that I can do that make me money that look like that? Often the answer I've found in times I've visited this question in the past, the answer's been yes. Yeah, there are things that look like that. So I'm kind of I'm wondering if there's something like that out there right now.
I have something I want to do is start selling underwear on OnlyFans.
Okay, yeah, well that's a good idea. Are you going to pee in it first, or is it?
No, God, I'm not gross.
Okay,
I'll just leave a bit of a skid mark.
Yeah. I mean, we do know what that market seems to be looking for, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. I mean, hey, more power to you. Like, yeah, it's an interesting model, and one that I don't support it financially. I just mostly in theory, but for a way for folks to get paid and do something they love, yeah, sure, sounds good to me.
Yeah, more power to them.
Now departed.
So what riddles me at this point?
Yes.
So where are we on the whole? I know Carney made a bunch of moves that are supposed to have made free trade within Canada a thing.
Okay.
I gather he was successful, and yet have any of us seen any evidence that there is an increased volume of trade going on between the provinces?
Well, I think the budget just came out, 2 days ago? So
Yeah, but that's a federal budget, no?
yeah, but I would think that the trade, like the interprovincial trade, would be a part of that.
But if all we're doing is lifting the barriers, then surely private actors, if they wanted to make something happen, could. Now, I lie. I have seen one piece of evidence.
Okay.
But oddly enough, there's Spanish involvement. So because Ontario is not importing the American eggnog liqueur that they otherwise would have, they've gone to a Spanish horchata type of thing, which is currently, I gather, being exported by Spain, but somehow bottled in Calgary.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me pull up the name just so I've got it properly.
I didn't even know that eggnog liqueur was a thing.
Yeah, I think that it is.
Isn't the whole point to put liqueur within the eggnog? Like,
Yeah.
it's not if you get eggnog liqueur. That's generally how it works. Right?
Yeah, I would think, but
Like I have no idea, because I'm one of those weird traditionalists that when I make eggnog, what I do is I take a bunch of eggs, raw eggs.
Oh, you did
put them in a blender with rum.
Yeah, right.
And a bunch of other ingredients.
Yeah, you can make it.
Which I think technically, because of the number of ingredients, makes it a cocktail, a type of cocktail, albeit a festive Christmas one. But no, it's this is the product that we're talking about here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Liqueur 43 Guarantee Trees.
What cow?
Guarantee Trees. I think that just means guaranteed as fuck. Horchata, but it's dairy-free, and it's also gluten-free. A creamy fusion of Liqueur 43 and traditional horchata from Valencia.
Oh, wow.
60% alcohol, so it's not high in alcohol content. It listed as a product of Spain, but I swear, if you look at the bag, it would appear that it's bottled or at least imported by some outfit in Calgary.
Huh. There's probably like an element of it.
But sure, but the fact that it seems, whatever the issue is, it seems to enter the country through Calgary and then find its way to Ontario liquor stores, which would not be normal if that we were still doing trade barriers, right? Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is some evidence that there's something going on, something's changed.
For sure.
But it's not the tidal wave that I was hoping for. I was hoping there to be very noticeable, like suddenly it's easy to find Fat Tug in Toronto. It's not. Well, it is, because as BC beers go, it's easy to find Fat Tug in Toronto as compared to
awesome.
BC beers. But it's not easy to find, category 10 stuff or, I don't think if I went to an Ontario liquor store right now, I'd do very well at finding anything from Phillips.
Well, let's consider this. Although the trade barriers may be make it easier to move product, these places have to be able to make enough product to be able to go national. And I don't think like category 12. I don't think they're big enough. Most the only ones, Driftwood and Phillips here on the island, are the only ones that I would say are big enough to be able to go national, and not with their entire lineup. Maybe just
sure, yeah, and that's fair, and that is fair, and that is fair. Have you in BC seen any further evidence of stuff being brought in from elsewhere in the country.
Haven't
I
had any
mean-
chance to because sorry, Alan, you can go ahead if you want, but
I haven't seen anything
Right?
more than normal. There is sort of like a natural shifting where there's stuff that's brought in, and then that stuff goes, and then new stuff is brought in, and we still have new stuff that's coming in from across the country. But I don't know that it's any different from what it was before. Sorry, Ben, go ahead.
well, no, Locke missed the beginning of the show where we were talking about the strike in BC with the liquor stores. He probably knows about it, but that would have affected my ability to go into a liquor store and seek out something else that may have
True.
come from another part of the country or another part of the province, right?
True.
So, and I'm looking at the LCBO liquor site. The only Phillips they got is Phillips Dino Sour Stone Fruit Sour.
That's interesting. Okay.
So that is a Phillips product. And Shane is back.
I have returned.
Yeah, I like the effect by which your cloaking device turned off and you suddenly appeared back where you'd been sitting all along.
I wish I could control some kind of animated beam in thing. Also, by the way, when we were starting the show, you will notice the background on.
Yes, I know you guys are all doing max headroom. I if I knew how to do that, I would do the same. But I have a selfie of me in an actual environment where it looks like I'm in a max headroom world, but it's actually just me in reality in a room full of lights. But yeah.
I mean, I wish I could make my background move like Shane's is, but my computer isn't that high tech.
Here's an important question. For all of the stupid cat ears and dog ears and other fuckety features that you can get on TikTok and Snapchat, has anybody done we will max headroomify your visage?
I don't know. That's actually a good point.
That is a good question.
I would not surprise me
if there's a use case, that would be it.
Totally. I'd be so into it.
Well, the software that I'd use is purely for what it's doing now. That clarity of image, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't do widgety things or whatever you want to call them. Although I do that with my sister because the
you said
Google Meet actually has the ability to do that kind of stuff, like add little 3D elements to your face. Why are you showing me the glass?
I need more beer.
I don't have any more.
Okay.
Sorry. It's not cold though.
It's been in the fridge since I got here.
I think it's
that's right. He brought beer. Hang on, I'll be right back.
I have a Persephone brewing from Gibson's, BC, which is the first of the 3 breweries in that area of Gibson's with Persephone, Gibson's Tapworks, and
There you go. Introduce
Highway 101 Brewing. I bought this for Shane a couple of months ago. I haven't had a chance to bring it over. This is the mildly salty lime lager, and I bought that without realizing I was going to be on the show and we were going to sample the beer from.
okay, cool.
So I'm like,
crack it open and pour.
I kind of wonder, is Persephone Brewing named after the Persephone boat from
it is
Beachcombers? Yeah,
it is because it is.
Which was filmed in Gibson's.
But this is Shane's gift for me because I brought it for him from Persephone. But I've had it in my fridge since the summer.
So I have been a fan of their beer for some time.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Persephone is a good brewery. I rate them very highly.
That's very tasty.
That's very. Oh, that's similar. They're pretty close, I think.
Things. Oh, sorry. Things. There is a lot to be salty about right now. So we decided to brew something about it. An adventurous Pacific Coast twist to our popular Coast Life lager, slightly salted with a crisp, zesty citrus finish. Salty times deserve a zesty thirst disruptor. Super butthole? What? Super crushable. and brewed in the bright side. Oh, there you go.
And the other piece of beer news I was going to throw, I should have forgot to throw it, is the North Shore Craft Brewing Week for the next 2 weeks, starting on November 7th. Through
Oh,
the
yeah.
21st. I'm not going to make it to any events, but that is on for the next 2 weeks.
That'll be awesome.
If you live on the North Shore, like I did in Vancouver, in North Vancouver.
Who lives on the North Shore anyway? Is that just a bunch of crazy people? Is
Yeah,
that how
I know,
it
a
is?
bunch of
A bunch of hippies. The usual.
I think
North
different
Shores. North Shores are sort of. It's a little bit of a balance between hippies and libertarians. No.
It's quite a cross section between people that lived on the North Shore for a long time. Not if they're libertarians or hippies, but people who grew up on the North Shore, and now the North Shore, at least where I live within the city, has changed so much in 20 years with so much development and just sort of busyness. I mean, one of the main reasons to live on the North Shore is because of how close you are to Gross and Seymour.
Yeah. There's like a
climate and
how did you end up on the North Shore?
I ended up on the North Shore because I met my wife, and my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, and my niece already lived on the North Shore. And so then I met my wife, who was living on the North Shore at the time. And I thought, well, I might as well just move to the North Shore.
I'm sorry, Alan's face was just priceless when you referred to your wife as your mother.
Yes. Yes, that was quite funny.
Going straight to hell. Heard it here first, everyone. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Anyways, so that's why I moved to the North Shore. But since 2012, the North Shore's craft brewing scene started with Bridge Brewing and is now quite fruitful, I would say. And quite busy.
Well, like we talked a couple weeks ago about Bomber Brewing returning to the original founder.
No.
Because they apparently...
And we got an original glass right here. If we're going to talk
right.
about the original founder.
The original founder, I did not know this, but apparently one of the reasons that the whole sale to the Donnelly, was it Donnelly Group?
Yeah, I think it was.
Was because he actually came down with a case of throat cancer.
Oh.
So he has battled that for a number of years, and apparently early 2024 he was declared cancer-free. So he apparently made a deal with Donnelly, because Donnelly was trying to sell Bomber for ages, but no one was buying. So I gather he is now back at the helm with some sort of deal he made with Donnelly. So I don't know if the branding or anything's going to change, but
this is
back to the original branding. But at the end of the day, I'm interested to see some of these kinds of stories, because it is an unexpected outcome for Bomber, because I thought Bomber was going to would just disappear.
Yeah.
It's the original East Banner, man, like right on that street there. With Off the Rail, right?
But I hope they survive, because I was there at the beginning.
Me too.
But then there was also we've had a ton of breweries basically just vanish over the years they're in the province, not just in Vancouver. But it's kind of interesting. I think we're getting down. We're kind of whittling down to the decent product companies, I would say. There were a lot that came out. They had decent product, but they only really were sort of, I don't know, the one-hit wonders of brewing companies maybe. Had one great beer, and then the rest never really caught on, maybe. I don't know. It just it's fascinating to me, and I certainly hope that the ones that we like keep going.
It's a sad truth that as we've been talking about with technology systems, when you're VHS and beta. It's not necessarily having the best beer that makes for a successful beer company. A beer company can make its amazing best beer all the way into permanent retirement just by not making enough money off of it.
And I gather the margins for alcohol brewing in general are, in some cases, great, in some not so much, because if you want your brewing ability to scale, that requires a huge investment in equipment, requires a huge investment in having people. And I don't care what anyone says about AI. I don't see any AI out there mixing the vats yet, anyway.
Crunching
And
numbers.
because I was reading a little while ago about how people are using things like ChatGPT to come up with beer recipes.
Mm.
And I think that we've actually seen a few articles talking about that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we have.
But essentially, I mean, there's all these potential for different beer things that don't require stunts like the vagina beer. Remember the brewing with the female vagina of some famous person or whatever?
Yeast.
The yeast, yeah. So
What? I didn't hear about that one.
This is probably going back a few years, probably during the pandemic, where
No, before that.
was it before that?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, some brewing or distillery or something. I forgot exactly who this was.
Due to the
It was a
pandemic.
brewery.
Yeah, exactly. We ran out of yeast, so hey, Sally, come here. No, it was a stunt by a brewing company that basically was, they claimed, I assume it was true, where they were using the yeast of a model, of some sort of, I've forgotten exactly. It wasn't like a famous person, but it was. They were plastering photographs of this individual around for their campaign for advertising, but whether that was the same person, who knows? But at the end of the day, apparently it was amazing. It was really expensive. So,
or remember that one that Ninkasi made? They sent yeast up into orbit on one of the space shuttles.
Yep.
And they brought it back and they used that, and that beer was like $25 a bottle or something.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I don't know.
Look,
Would
all of this
yeast into space do anything really?
Apparently not.
Look, as compared to the pricing of the thermonuclear penguin, which, and we all know that BrewDog has had their financial troubles as of late. As a gimmick, I don't want to complain about this because it makes me sound petty and grasping at alcohol. But when you're making an unusual novelty product at $30 a pop and it's 5%, something in me just goes,
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
That's actually a really good point.
Gimmicky beer should be at least 12%.
Well, look, I mean, if we're talking about some
Terminator.
reason to do something festive, special, different, I mean, unless the idea is about having something that's quaffable and there are many of them and you won't run short of, but if it's limited supply and it's rare, I kind of want that to be, I want it to be a bit of an event. And I feel like anything under 6 is kind of shortchanging me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I agree, but here's the thing, though. As a side argument to that, is it more important for the beer to be flavorful than to be a high alcoholic or alcohol
I'm
content?
gonna go right away. It needs to be flavorful.
And I'm in full agreement with this caveat that the flavor needs to be the flavor of the beer, not
agreed. And
flavor.
like I remember Cake. I remember a couple of those other weird beers. The dessert for that very short period of time where a bunch of breweries are doing that.
Cake was also brewed by Longwood.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
That I did not remember.
Cake?
It was this supposed to be like Black Forest cake or something?
Yeah, it was
yeah,
beer. It was a porter that tasted like Black Forest.
Yeah,
I actually
Black
liked
Forest
it
beer
more
in
than
Whistler at the Whistler Brewhouse.
Yeah, and there were a number of sweet beers that came out around then, and Cake just happened to be one of them, and there were a couple of others. But I think, but here's the thing: as gimmicky as that was, it didn't taste. I mean, I didn't like it.
Mm.
I thought it was too sweet when I had it. And it just kind of overwhelmed the fact that I was trying to have a beer.
I feel like I'm maybe voicing the more of a traditionalist opinion on this, but
I see.
does any to the degree that I'm willing to engage in that type of fuss over something like okay, I'll admit, I can think of one very, very good 5%er that I've had once, but somewhere between 5 and 8, I think is appropriate. The old school of bottle conditioned beer.
Yes.
Now these are a fussy, detailed type of event, which is to say that they actually add additional yeast during the bottling. So if you're going to age them, and that's what they're designed for, you also need to keep them relatively cool and relatively still and in a relatively dark environment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cellarization is the issue there. When you're fussing for years to get the best flavor experience that you can get from the art of introducing yeast to grains.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're talking about. That is the craft. When you're paying that much attention to it, I think the reward is actually in the attention that you're paying to it, not necessarily even in the drink, even if it turns out, like if it turns out to be fucking vinegar, it turns out to be fucking vinegar, you know what I mean? But having gone through the process, it refines something in the way we deal with the world that we went through that and cared about it enough to go all the way through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be craft brewing was supposed to be what?
Yeah.
Like a craft in a craft brewery means the craft of brewing, or it's small batch, or it's a small brewery. I see what you're saying, Locke, right? And it's like part of it is, and then is the craft, I think, and what it takes to make it, and the time and effort, and it can be painstaking effort too, right?
Well, yeah, like right now, Red Truck Brewing across the street from me is a. They had and I believe it was supposed to be a. I don't remember. I can't remember. Julian, friend of the show, would know. But there was a beer that was being made that somehow went sideways. Something went wrong with it, and so the brewmaster said, "You know what? I can turn that into something else."
Right.
And they created the salted lime thing. I've forgotten what they're calling it. I've had a bunch of it. I think it's really great. It's a lightish beer in flavor, and it's not something I hate to have. So, and to me, even though when you look at places like Red Truck Brewing, they have a huge operation. They make some world famous, award winning beers, but they still make smaller batch things like this one, and I kind of like that idea where they've got their primary lager that's been around forever, that is distributed quite widely. The pub near my parents' house, that is the Bird Beer, as they call it, which is just Red Truck Lager. And it's a decent beer. It's flavorful. It does what it's designed to do. But then you have them able to still make smaller batch stuff that you can only get in their tasting room. You can only get in small runs for canning and whatnot. But there's also the thing with some breweries that, and I think that was my concern with Bomber, and I don't know if the jury's still out on this, but when Bomber was sold to a larger conglomerate of breweries and restaurants, I think that there's a ton of, and we've seen this so many times now. We have like InBev absorbing some brewery that was, at some point a craftish kind of brewery, and then they mass produce it, does it cease being a craft beer versus being just a mass produced thing? Whether that's good or bad to this argument is not really relevant. It's more or less of the brewmasters doing it for the sake of doing it because they like to, versus, all right, I'm going to sell and give the brand to this company, and then they'll just take the recipe and keep making it.
Got the Herminator?
This
Is that
is
the Terminator?
Yes, this is a 2023 Herminator.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so you cellared that for a little while. Excellent.
When you got dripwood glass.
But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where, you know, we've always struggled with this about the beers that we cover. Like, are we to be so explicit with this is our definition of craft beer and that it will never change? But then I think we actually had a discussion on a show a few years ago talking about, okay, well, should we be as restrictive? Because the industry was already changing. These breweries were either.
As I recall, there was a point where I rather prophetically decided that we should cover, for all that it's not craft beer in any measure, one of the biggest names in beer selling on the planet, and that's Super Dry. Asahi, yeah. And the reason I said that is because I thought that there was a gap in the craft brewing scene addressing that type of beer. If you're gonna pursue doing a better version of what's out there, is there anybody that can take them on? And I think I came up with a few plausibles. I don't know if I got any fucking victories. You know, there were good attempts at doing that style and doing it well, but I don't think it's not like it was with, at one point everybody in North America is drinking piss lager, and then there's this crash point around 84 between sort of then and the early 90s. You've got the beginnings of craft brewing in the West Coast, whether it's Deschutes or Spinnakers. I think it's Spinnakers.
Spinnakers 1989. Swans is another one in Victoria, right? I mean, I've been to those two many times.
Yeah. So back then, you know, and in, you know, further. No, I can't really. It would have been Amsterdam and Toronto, I guess. Although I'm not really sure when they started. Calgary would be Big Rock, but people were bucking this. We're doing this World War II sort of rations issue type of lager. That you know, for all that at an industrial scale, it means we can provide it a lot. We're going to the no. We want it to be more interesting than that. We don't want our beer just to be, you know, the cheapest piss that we can pump out that still has booze in it.
Tough.
And so the difference between, you know, before the breakaway of right, you know, craft brewing in the 90s and you know, afterwards, that was a huge difference. Now it's sort of like it's
get out of here! Get out of here! Damn, Putin got in the show again. Sorry. Putin was there for a moment.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah, to the degree that it's one of those things that is going to consistently be once you've, you know, had your revolution, now you can extrapolate on the basis of that revolution. It's sort of like, well, okay, so we don't have to do that anymore. So what can we do?
Right.
And of the things that we can do, as people involved in craft brewing, as opposed to sort of major, sort of mass industrial brewing, it's not 100% clear to me that Asahi Super Dry is I think probably, you know, like if I had to pick that between any American brand, Budweiser, Coors, whatever, yeah, like I'd be going with Asahi, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would.
For that type of product, I you know, now a Qingdao is more flavorful in my view and maybe a little bit more traditional, but you know, between those, and so the question is, you know, is the trick of craft brewing that we just don't do mass available light lager pilsner type of things, or is it that we can do those too? And it's not. I don't think we got a definitive answer out of that question. There may yet be ways to improve the recipe of that crisp, dry pilsner lager type of affair.
I think there's always room for improvement.
And that's it. And that's an important point, because it means that there's no
perfection is unattainable.
Yeah. It's always how. It's never what.
And part of it is also people have different tastes, right?
Sure.
So, Locke, what time is it there, man?
Fuck, I don't know. I mean, so earlier this evening I was going to a party, and then you called. I did go to the party, and then I caught an Uber back here. Yvette's still at the party, so you know. We'll see.
Are you supposed to go back to the party now?
No. She's coming here.
Excellent.
Nice.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't like screwing up your party.
No. All's good. Yeah. I'm having fun.
Excellent.
I do want to point out something really important. The Riders rule.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, except for the Blue Bombers.
It's okay, Ben. It's okay. The Lions might do it next year.
Yeah, I know. It's always next year.
Next year country. It's something apparently you learn on the prairies very quickly.
What do we have any words of remorse about what it means to not properly seal the wall between the field and the seats at Blue Jay Stadium?
What?
Did you not notice the problem that the ball got stuck?
Oh, the ball got
stuck.
That's always been a potential problem at.
Well, I think it's a potential problem that there are now going to be serious engineering minds in Toronto working on. I think now.
Yeah.
That stuck ball.
Like that's the difference between the World Series and not.
Well, there's a lot of things.
The difference between the World Series and not is Yamamoto. The fact that
that was one of them.
And Yamamoto won 2 games. That's the difference in the World Series. The Dodgers have the number 1 payroll, I think. That's me. Yamamoto won 2 games.
When you start throwing the balls at the players instead of to them, yeah.
Sorry, what? I have no idea what the hell any of you were talking about.
Did you watch any of the World Series?
I watched the entire thing.
No, I'm asking Shane here. I gather you did. You seem very boned up on it.
Yamamoto was the difference. He won 2 games for him.
Well, look, I won't deny that there's no question he is their most valuable player. That's incontestable. Yeah, he is pretty good, isn't he?
It's like, you know, I mean, the Dodgers have done.
There is something now. Did anybody find yourself sitting there going, "God, does it have to be a fucking Star Blazers reference?"
What? Find myself going, "What?" Sorry, I can't hear you.
A Star Blazers reference?
Well, do I have it wrong? Wasn't it the Battleship Yamamoto?
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
in Star Blazers, it was the Argo.
Oh, it was the Argo.
It was
called the Argo.
Sorry, I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm thinking of World War II.
Okay.
It was the Yamato.
Right, Yamato. Yeah. There we go.
Well, I mean,
As you can see, my history starts to fail after the end of the 18th century. So,
yeah. Let's talk about the Hellfire Club.
Well, indeed.
We have an expert about that in the room, I think. I totally lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
We were talking about baseball. I don't remember.
We were.
I sadly I didn't get on the bandwagon that hard for the World Series this year. I wish the Blue Jays had won, but I don't know. I just couldn't get into it for some reason.
Yeah.
But
I always watch the Blue Jays, but
Same.
I watched the World Series was like a bonus for me because I watched them throughout the season.
Right.
So the playoff run was a bonus.
And of course, now we have the ending of the CFL pretty soon, into the Grey Cup very shortly.
Yeah, another week.
And then baseball is, or sorry, not baseball, hockey is game 15, 16 in or so now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sports.
Yeah, go sports ball. Oh, although I was convinced.
As the guy in the rider's hat.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up. I was talking to a friend of mine here who lives in the building next door, and he has a huge. He's a hardcore fan for Liverpool FC, and I realized that I had not really. I've never been a football guy, so I decided that I should just throw in and become a fan of Liverpool FC, who are, I don't know, they're a football team in Liverpool.
Yeah,
and,
they're at least the bloody Northerners. You know, like, look, hey, I'm Newcastle United, but
now, okay, so you're actually, do you watch them, Newcastle, on a regular basis?
No, I don't watch any sports at all. But my life is such right now that I don't, unless there's something like the fucking World Series.
But in general,
I don't watch. I don't watch.
Let's pretend for a sec that you don't watch any of the games, but you still have a loyalty to Newcastle, for obvious reasons that I know. But but you're still a fan. You're still a supporter of that group. Maybe, you might buy a jersey once every 10 years.
To the degree that I'm aware that they have Newcastle United Special Edition Adidas Sambas coming out this year.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I've often been wondering this, because part of my education in this is on the road to supporting Liverpool, is learning about Adidas is like the place to go for merchandise for a ton of different teams.
Yep.
Which I did not know. And I guess my neighbor was talking about how they're looking at a particular long sleeve that they like, that's fairly new. And so, of course, I went on Adidas's website to actually look up the stuff, and I was not horrified. I was shocked just how many different teams you could get merchandise for through them. And I mean, and I think part of this is that it was somewhat awakened in my put onto my radar by watching that Wrexham TV show.
Oh, yes.
And like I like soccer. I played soccer, but I was never really a follower of soccer in this neck of the woods. But I did watch a bit of that show, and I enjoyed it. And it does give you kind of a behind the scenes of how football teams work in the UK specifically. And I gather they've been elevated 3 times now in 3 years, up to the Premier League, or the is it the league? Is it the league? It's a league right below the top league, whatever that's called.
They started out in the lowest league, and they kept
so
relegated, right?
So yeah, so I mean, I think that is. It interests me a little more just because it's so new to me. Like it was always in the periphery. I knew it existed. I knew there were a bunch of teams. But then I thought maybe the Crafty Boys should become like a rugby supporter. Like there's that sport, which is just brutal. And I thought that would be
No, footy, man. Aussie rules.
exactly. So what are the famous Aussie rule teams?
Well, that's a good question.
Like I remember hearing about the All Blacks, which I think are New
Zealand.
Zealand.
That's New Zealand rugby, I think. Yeah.
So I'm assuming I'm gonna have to do more research. I don't actually know what kind of league this is. What is it? Multinational? I have no idea. Except every so often you see little videos here and there of them doing some insane things on the field.
Well, all right, Shane, this is your homework. I want you to go and find us an Aussie rules football team to get behind, and we'll do it.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
fucking done.
I think we're gonna find out.
Gotta be fucking Queensland.
And I'll do a full presentation with slideshows and a full light show, or something to that effect. Anyway, we've been going for an hour and a half. So, are you guys feeling strong? Are you feeling tired? What's going on?
Well, I still don't have a call from Yvette, so evidently she's still at the party. So I'm good.
Well, there you go. I'm out of beer. That's my problem.
Oh yeah, that is a problem.
Are you out of beer?
Yeah, that
Alan?
sucks.
No, I don't think so. It's got a Terminator.
I've got more liquor.
Alan's not out of beer?
I don't think so.
No, I have.
Well, then we should keep going then.
started.
You've
All
got
right.
lots of beer to go.
Let me go.
All right, Alan, take the floor.
Look at that. I could see the lines through it.
It's like one of those episodes of Star Trek where, it's like they're looking at something. It's kind of, oh my God, it's multiphasic.
Yeah.
It's in a different universe. It's phasing in and out.
It's the drive plasma.
Whoa, no.
No.
What'd you do?
You were saying, Alan, please take the floor.
I wasn't really saying anything.
Oh, all right then. Locke, any final words?
Words. Meow 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 meow.
Okay.
On that note, boys and girls, it is time for us to go to bed because we have been drinking beer and it's time for sleep. But we'll see you all next week. I'll provide you with a full presentation about rugby on the international scene and what team I think that we should be supporting. So until then, I certainly hope you drink great beer and
Or cocktails.
or cocktails and look as excited as Ben looks. Thank you, Ben, for being here.
You're welcome. I am.
And what's Ben's podcast name again? Just to plug him.
Sorry.
Not that
Ben's
anybody's
podcast
watching,
is
The Golden V Podcast. Facebook.com/Golden V Podcast. GoldenVpodcast.ca.
And what sporting events do you cover?
I cover Vancouver sports and Vancouver sports teams. Last episode would be last week, BC Lions Western semifinal preview against the Calgary Stampeders. I did not do an episode for this week's Western final. I took a break. Don't laugh.
You took a break?
Yeah, I did a couple episodes. I got to take a break because I got to do other things with the podcast, like set up a Patreon page and do all that kind of stuff.
Oh, man. It just never ends.
Substack. I can make money off it.
All right, boys and girls. We'll see you all next week. Thank you much for watching. And don't forget, go to our Facebook page and follow that page so that we can live stream to that page again.
Yes.
We're at 42. We need
150.
150, is it now? God,
I don't know
jeez.
what it was.
Whatever. We need a bunch. We
And
need to
to
break
be
100.
clear, I am artificially generated and a bot.
What?
On that note, we're going to go back into the language model world. Bye, everyone.